Hello everyone, welcome to Modern Chess Kids. Today I show the gameplay by Volodymyr and Guilherme, and this beautiful game complete in only 18 moves. And let's see how the game play. The game starts with the pawn. The black reply knight f6, then g3 and e5. And this variation you have the increased opening. Then the game continues with bishop to g2 and d5 was played. And now the pawn capture the pawn. C takes d5 and now the knight capture back. At this move, the white continue to play knight f3 to develop the knight and knight to c6. And here, this is the first 5 move and the position is equal for both sides. And for the black, you can see that the knight in the center of the square will have a very strong and many activity that the black can do. So the game continues with the white go for a short castling and bishop to e7 from the black preparing to go for a short castling as well. And now the white develop d4, and here the pawn just capture. E takes d4, and now the knight continue to capture. Knight takes d4. Then the knight capture again, go for the exchange, and the queen capture it back. So after this exchange, the white is better as the white queen is attacking the pawn at g7. And here, after this move, the queen also have the idea to go here and check the king, and the bishop also attacking the knight with the queen. So after this move, the white is better. We have many activity to play on the board. After this move, the knight goes to f6, and this is the critical path for the black to play from d5 to f6, then to g4 and attack the pawn at f2. So after this move, the queen goes to a4 and check the king. And here the simple move would be go for the queen exchange with a queen d7, or you push the pawn to block the check with c6. So the black choose c6 to play in the game. And after this move, you have the first 10 move, and here the white is better in this position. As you can see, the king is in a very safe position, and the bishop is also guarding the king. So the game continue with a rook to d1, continue to attack the queen, and the rook is protected by the queen, and the queen to b, trying to attack the pawn at, or also able to attack the pawn at b2 if the bishop is moved away. So after this move, knight continue to develop to c3. Another suggestion that the white can play would be bishop to e3, attacking the queen. And if you capture the queen, takes the pawn at b2, then here the bishop can make a brilliant sacrifice by capturing the pawn and check the king. And if the pawn capture, then the queen will just capture, and you have a fork. Check the king and win the rook. For example, after capture, pawn capture, then queen capture, now the king need to run. And if you move away the king, such as king to f8, then the queen will continue to attack the rook, and the next will chop the win the bishop. so you cannot protect. If the queen capture the rook, then the queen will just continue to check. For example, if the queen capture the rook, and the queen will just capture the bishop at c8, and now the black will be in trouble, because after knight to e8, then the knight now continue to develop, and the knight is protecting the rook and the rook is attacking the queen, and here then the knight will continue to attack and win the game. So if you make the bishop to e3, then the best will be defended by bishop c5, and after this bishop capture, then queen capture, and now the knight develop, and this position will be better for the white. So in the actual game, the white choose knight to c3, and after this the black just go for short castling, and after this the knight goes the queen back to c2, and here the knight continue to play knight to g4, and you have the idea to attack the pawn at f2. So this is the first 13 move, and the position now is equal, and after this move the white play e4 with the idea the white can control the center of the pawn. However, this is one of the tactical blunder, and with this the black is winning and clearly better in this position. So after this move, the knight take the pawn at f2, and this is one of the brilliant sacrifice and a great move for the black. And if you capture with the queen, and the black will be clearly winning, because bishop c5 pin the queen, and queen cannot be escaped. If the queen trying to run away, it will be an illegal move, and the king will be exposed to a check, for example. So after this move, you only can block with the rook to f1, then bishop capture, then the rook will just capture it back. So this exchange, you see that the black will win the queen for the exchange of a knight and a bishop. Another example, if you block with the bishop, then the white will just continue to capture the bishop, and again the queen cannot escape from the pin. So knight takes f2 is one of the great move, and after this move the knight to a4 trying to attack the queen, and here the knight go for a knight to h3, and you have the double check, an open check and also a double check, and with this check the king need to move. So if the king move to f1, then the black will be clearly winning with a queen to g1 and check the king, and after the check the queen can capture the bishop. For example, queen check, and if the king goes to e2, then here you can just continue capture the bishop and continue to check, and the king will have a limited place, and you're going to checkmate in the next 20 move. So if you make example moves such as king to e1, then the queen will just capture the queen and you'll be winning the queen. And if you move the king to e3, and again the queen will just capture the queen and you'll be winning. And if you move the kings to d3, then now you have a queen to f3 continue check, and if you block by the bishop, then you have the rook continue to check, and after the check this bishop will be captured again. So if you move the kings to c4, then you have the bishop at the pawn to b5 check the king and attack the knight. And now if the king goes to c3, then you have the queen capture and check again. And if you defend with the queen, then the rook will continue to check and win the game. So after this check, you can see that the king has no place to move and the king is easily hunt by the black. So if you continue to defend, then the rook will just capture, and after the capture, then b4 continue to check, and now again the king have to move, and if you move the king to c4, then the bishop continue to check and will be easily win the rook. And if the king back to b3, then the queen continue to capture the rook and check, and now the knight defense, then the pawn will just capture, and after the pawn capture you have the rook to check, and now king to f4, then queen to b5, and you'll be checkmate the game. So king a1 f1 will be a very bad move, as it will be a series of attack from the black. So if the king move to h1, then the black will only have a decisive advantage only. And after this move, the queen goes to f2, trying to exchange the queen, and if you capture the queen, then the knight will just capture the queen and you will check the king and win the rook. So after king goes to g1, then the knight will just capture the rook and will be clearly winning. So back to this position, the black play bishop to d2, and with this move the black is winning and mate in 2. I give a couple of seconds to figure out how the black play and win the game. Well, congratulations for those who found the answer, and for those who like to enjoy the show, here are the moves. And in the actual game, after bishop to d2, at the 17th move, the black made another great sacrifice with the queen. So after queen, the rook will capture, then you have the knight check the king at 2, and here you have a smarter mate for the black. So after this move, queen to g1, a brilliant sacrifice, and with this the king has no way to escape, and the other way is to capture with the rook. And after capture, you have the knight to f2, a very nice ending checkmate, as the king cannot move to anywhere. So back to this position, the other way to save this position and suggestion you can play is a queen to d2, and with this the queen cannot check. If you come here and check, the rook will just capture. After the capture, now the knight cannot come to check because the queen still protect the f2 square and able to capture the knight. So the nice move is this position, a queen sacrifice at this position, and knight to the position. And with this, thank you.